we should be ready. Let me move this because I don't want to knock it off. I'm liable to flail or something. So, all right. I don't know. I'll wave my hand and knock it off into the floor, and hit the computer, and turn the computer off or whatever.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So, all
So
right.
adding excitement is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, real exciting. It's probably frozen, so it'll probably bust into a bazillion pieces when it hits the ground. So. All right. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamers Lounge podcast. My name is John Meadows. With me as always, Eric, Nathaniel, and Robert. How's it going, fellas?
It's going.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, look
Welcome to the sick
the
cast.
sick cast. 3 or 4 of us have colds or whatever else, so there'll probably be a lot of coughing and a lot of sniffling and maybe even some
Promise
nose
to
blowing.
lean into the microphone every time we cough.
Absolutely.
I feel pretty good.
It's good for you.
Yeah. Woo,
I
good
usually
for
don't.
you.
I usually don't. I'm usually the one that doesn't get sick, but it's just a cold. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been so cold here, and taking the dogs out at night, and walking from 7 degrees, -7 below to 65 or 70 in the house.
Yeah.
It's just my head just
Yeah.
finally said.
I think
it's
it was
had
all
enough.
the traveling over, holidays and then coming back and being a little worn down has kind
Yeah.
of got me. Usually I don't get sick very easily either, but
Well, and I was
maybe there was one of them screaming kids on a plane got me.
probably well, and I was gone for most of the month, and then we went to my brother's house for Christmas, and then came back. So it's like I was gone, I think 16 or 17 days out of December. I wasn't at home, so that might have had New Jersey might have had something to do with it too. I don't know. I can blame New Jersey anyway. I like to blame New Jersey for everything. So
Sure, why
except
not?
for it's just they're an easy target. So. But we're finally back after the holiday. We've been gone almost the month to the day. I think the last episode
Oh, wow.
we recorded was December 7th. So I know
Wow.
it's January
Ooh,
7th. So
interesting.
we were gone almost a month. But we're back, starting out the new year. I guess everybody had a good holiday. I never thought about asking about Christmas before we started. So I guess everybody enjoyed the holiday for what it was.
Yeah. not bad.
Yep. Everybody at my family's house was horribly sick with the flu and pneumonia.
That's the best.
Mhm.
Everyone loves that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I tried to wear a mask and stay away, but I don't know. I was already fighting a cold, and I don't know. I've just been miserable for a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Just not feeling 100%.
Well, and it's rough when everybody else is sick too, so that doesn't help out at all. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we had a good holiday here. Like I said, we went to my brother's and spent a couple days there with all of them. So, but hopefully everybody has a safe and happy Christmas, happy holidays, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope it was a good one. But we'll start like we always start off with what we've been playing, what we've been doing. I didn't realize it till I sat down and thought about what I'd played since we've been gone. I haven't played anything. I've bought several games, but I haven't sat down and played them. I started to play Oxenfree on the Switch, but I haven't got maybe 10 or 15 minutes into that. Not very long.
I saw that on the Switch for like $5. Almost bought it, then was like, wait, no. I just got that for free a week ago on PC because it was one of the storefront sales. How to get it for free?
There you go. Yeah. See, I wasn't around when the Steam's. I wasn't close to anything with
I
Steam.
think it was on GOG is
Was
where
it?
I got it from for free.
I know they were doing a lot of those things for free, and I was out
Yeah,
working.
they
And it
have
was hard
some
to
there that
grab
they'll
them.
do, and every store does their kind of holiday things a little different times and different gimmicks. And
Yeah. I tried to jump on that stuff. I did get the Ubisoft free stuff. They had the what was it? They had Black Flag,
Black
Watch
Flag
Dogs,
and
Yeah.
something else for free.
I was like, I already own Black Flag on PC, so the other ones I wasn't interested in, so I didn't jump on those.
Yeah, a World of Conflict. That was the other one. It was
Oh.
free game. I just added
Oh,
it to
yeah.
my account. What the
I think
heck?
I got Black Flag, even though I own it on
Yeah,
other systems as well. But
Yeah.
hey, whatever.
I own it on. I know I own it on PlayStation 3. or PlayStation 4. I mean, but it's like, I may play it again on the PC just to.
That's
It looks
right.
pretty good on the PC.
Yeah, just to
Everybody
see what it
loves
looked
that ship
like.
combat.
That's what I would. Only reason I would play it again. I probably even wouldn't play it like fully through. Just play it long enough to kind of see what it looked like on the PC with the cuts and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I got that, and I bought Assassin's Creed Origins, and I put it in the PlayStation so it'd load up and install and do all the updates and everything like that. And I have yet to come back down and play it because it's been so blessed cold down here in the basement. It's like I'll just wait.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I was really excited to get
That's one of the
into
games
it.
on my list that I played.
Yeah, I was excited to get into it, and I just
I got
haven't had a chance yet.
I have a chocobo now.
A chocobo.
In Assassin's Creed?
In Assassin's
You hear that?
Creed?
There's Square and Ubisoft flip-flop some weird like DLC things. I forget what they put in Final Fantasy that's Assassin's Creed related.
Huh.
But they put,
Assassin's Creed
you
outfit.
get, I have like a cool steampunk sword and shield, and then I have a chocobo mount that's like
Huh.
has 4 legs though, like a camel, but it has like a chocobo head and feathers and stuff.
Weird.
It's pretty
I
cool.
didn't know that was even a thing.
It's super fast.
Is it like a DLC that you buy, or is it like DLC that
No,
they...
it's free that they put in with one of the latest updates.
Huh.
2 or 3 weeks ago. It's pretty new.
Huh.
I don't
Does
know.
it
Somewhere in the
play
middle of
Chocobo
December. And it's like you have to be higher level to get to it anyway, because in the middle of a desert area, I think that you have to be in
Yeah.
your 20s or late teens to get to. I forget. I'd have to look again what the level of that particular area is, but it's just a random quest that shows up for you, even has a different color icon if I remember right. So it's like, hey, why is this one this color? And you do some cool little puzzle that was actually really neat. And then it's like, I didn't even realize it was at the time because I'd read that they were adding it in there. Didn't know how it was going to come in, and I did the quest and got a chocobo and other stuff. I was like, ooh, okay. So that's what that was.
Yeah, I'm with Robert. Does it play the Chocobo theme when you...
Bummer.
Oh, man. That would be the icing on the cake if it
Unless
played.
it's
Missed
something-
opportunities.
Unless it's something that only happens randomly at certain points, because I didn't have play with it a ton, but
Well,
it didn't when I was playing with it.
that stinks. That would be hilarious. That would
But it
just-
does look really cool.
Yeah, I bet. I had no idea that this was even a thing. I don't even remember seeing anything about it. That's weird.
There were rumors
Yeah.
about it for a while, then they confirmed it, and now they finally added it like mid-December or something.
Huh.
It's very, very recent.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out when I actually sit down and play the game. Maybe this week. We'll see.
Yeah, I actually put the sword and shield away and put them back on my other ones because they just look too weird.
Yeah.
It's like, this just stands out a little too much for me. And I like my other sword and shield that I had anyway because they looked really cool. So I was like, I'll go back to ones that actually look appropriate and not weird steampunk fantasy.
Yeah. It's all right after you beat it.
But I'm
maybe.
keeping the chocobo. It's a weird deformed camel. That's what it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, that could be a thing. Why not, right?
They could have had those in ancient Egypt. You don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's okay. Could happen. So, what's everybody else been playing? That's going to
I
be
mean, I can
playing.
keep going on my list if you want.
Go ahead.
So it's like Assassin's Creed before holidays is when I was playing that one, so it's been a while. Before I left, I got SteamWorld Dig 2 and Stardew Valley on the Switch, so I could play them on the plane.
Cool.
They both play very well on a plane
Yeah.
and in handheld mode. It's like
Did you buy a battery pack?
No. I
No?
just had my normal Switch battery.
You're like, let me plug it in the plane's USB port. Plane.
I was like, I don't even need to do that because it was the planes I was on was a short enough flight, so as long as it was fully charged when I get
Oh,
in,
perfect.
I can play it, and it's time to put it away before the battery dies.
Yeah.
But
Did
yeah,
you see any other switches on your flight?
No, not on my flight. I did see a dog under a seat and several babies, but no switches.
Babies were under the
Oh, I
seat
saw-
too, or were they?
There were several babies and dogs.
Babies
playing
are in the
Nintendo
overhead
Switches.
compartment.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes better sense. Okay.
No, they were not. But yeah, no other switches that I saw, but it wasn't keeping an eye out and going down the rows like, hey, who has a Nintendo?
Stand up
But
front.
yeah,
Okay, who's got a Switch on the fly?
What are we playing?
SteamWorld Dig 2 is really cool. I really like the first game, so it's been on my kind of wish list for the Switch for a while because
Yeah.
I knew it would be fun to play on there.
I almost bought it. It was on sale, I think. And
Yeah. You're kind of like start out. You're playing a different character than the first game, but you're looking for who the player character from the first game, like
Yeah.
Rusty, I think. And you go quite a few places. I haven't actually found him yet, so it must be like he's an end boss or something because he might have been corrupted based on what I've found so far. Who knows? All sorts of crazy things have happened. I'm in an area now that has a lot of poison pools, and it's just like, I don't like this as well. It's too dangerous.
I want to say that I have it on something. Maybe this. I don't know if it's on the Switch or not the Switch, the Wii U, or I have to remember. I know I played it on something, but I can't remember what I
Steam
played it
World, the
on.
first one?
Well, I know I've got.
Steam World Dig?
I can't remember if it's the first one or the second one.
Because 2 just came out earlier.
2 just
this
came out?
year.
So maybe
So
it
it must
must
be-
Heist.
It must be the first one. No, I don't have
So-
Heist, so it must
You
be
don't
the
have
first one. No, I don't
Yeah,
have
Heist,
I know
Heist
that.
was in between, and then Dig 2 just came out recently.
I thought Dig 2 was, when I played the demo, I thought it was really, really well done.
Oh, yeah, it's
I kind of
still
forgot. So,
Just as
so-
fun as the first one as far as digging, and then they added some other cool different, devices and things in there. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Stardew Valley, of course, is awesome.
yeah. How do you like it on the Switch compared to the PC?
It took me a little bit to get used to the stuff. I had to go into the options to turn the outline on.
Yeah.
I don't know why it defaults to off. That makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's not even an option on the PC that I know. Because it's all there. It's all where your mouse kind of is pointing.
Right.
So you can point at any one of different squares based on where your character is. But once I turned that on, it wasn't too bad. I started with a different than the default farm because I was like, oh, since I'm starting over, I'll do a different one. I'll do the reverse one so I don't have to try and find water.
Yeah.
So it does limit your space quite a bit, but it's prettier because there's rivers running everywhere and you don't have to run off to a well to refill your watering can all the time.
Yeah. See, I got
played
lucky and there was a
through-
little lake right by my house. So,
Well, yeah, if you're on the default, there's a little lake, but once you
Yeah.
expand your farm further than that, you're going to need to have either invest in lots of sprinklers,
Right.
which is a good late game tip, and or have just plenty of water sources you can go, or just don't do a huge farm. Do diversify and do animals and other things too.
yeah.
But yeah, I played like spring and half of summer of the first year or so I'm not too far in. 10 or 15 hours maybe.
I haven't played it in a while. I'm still at like 55 hours in. Didn't even realize I'd played it that long. That's the.
A lot of it was me going, oh man, I wish I had the upgraded stuff already, or I forgot how to get the upgraded version of this thing.
Yeah. I could see
Or-
that.
Like I forget how many levels of the mines down it is before you start getting the better materials, and I forgot how early game the mines will kill you so fast before you get a lot of the different upgrade items that will help you with defense and better attack and stuff. So I was trying to push too far and died a few times. I was like, okay.
So
And it's
you have like a
harsh
limited
penalty.
It
you have
is.
limited time in the mines, right? Based on like what, air, oxygen?
No,
No. Mm-mm.
just daytime.
Yeah.
So
Just daytime?
whenever you run out of time, you better get out. 'Cause if you
Yeah,
don't
I
get
saw
back-
that on my desktop
no
the other
matter
day.
what
I was
you're
like, you know
doing,
what? I need to play Stardew Valley again. Then I forgot.
So no matter what you're doing, once it gets to like midnight, it starts saying, it's late. And then if you think it gets to 2, then you just fall asleep wherever you are.
Yeah.
And then there's some penalty to it. If you're in the mines and you die, you forget like up to 7 or 8 floors worth of where you went, which means they're not in the list, so you can't take the elevator down that far anymore. And you lose some gold, and you lose 1 or 2 items from your inventory. So don't die in the mines in Stardew Valley.
Yeah. It's rough. But yeah, I think it's. I've stayed out too late and couldn't get back to the house in time. I was in the mines too long and went, oh my gosh, I gotta
Yeah.
get home. And then halfway home, I go, oh, I'm tired.
There's all the stuff that you unlock later that you're like, okay, this was a good unlock, so it helps me get home faster, and I don't have to look at the clock quite as well.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I want to get the 3rd version of the fishing pole because I miss having the like lures and bobbers on it.
Yeah.
I have the one that gets bait, but I don't have the one that has the others because that makes fishing so much easier.
Yeah, I need to do that. I really haven't done a whole lot with fishing. I think I got the upgrade. The first
Fishing is
upgrade, but I
good
wouldn't
for
say.
early game to get money because when you first start out, you don't have a lot of
That's
money to
good
invest
to
in
know.
crops yet.
Yeah.
So you can only plant a few things, and then you're waiting for them to mature so you can harvest them. So in the meantime, pick days that you can to go fishing, comb the beaches for stuff to pick up.
Yep.
There's on the beach. There's a little bridge thingy that you can build to another. It's like a few hundred wood, and it'll let you get to another side area of the beach that has stuff to pick up a lot more often, and those things can get you a lot of gold early on in Stardew.
I can't wait till the multiplayer comes out. That'll be cool.
Yeah, it could be fun. I don't know. Stardew Valley just doesn't seem like a multiplayer game to me. It's not that you're like, oh, I'll hang out with a friend every once in a while, but most of the map is going to be the same for everybody.
Yeah, Nikki threw away her fishing pole. That was fun.
Aw.
Well, go buy a new one at the fishing store. You just have to earn the gold first.
She gets kind of confused on what buttons does what, so when she's like looking through things, she'll accidentally buy something, and then she'll be like, or accidentally sell it or something like that. So
Yeah, when you're putting stuff in to sell at night, be very careful.
yeah,
Just getting in a rhythm and going click, 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 click. Oh crap! That thing 2 things ago was one that I didn't want to sell. Well,
yep,
too
it's
late.
too late. Yeah, it's too
You only
late.
get the last item.
Yeah,
I've definitely done that before.
yeah,
But,
I have
yeah.
too.
I'll probably play more of that. It's a good game for just chilling. Just like,
Mhm.
don't have to think too hard about it.
Well, and then when they start the multiplayer, you can come work on my farm.
Yeah,
All he
that's-
cares about. He wants some extra help.
That's what Matt was thinking about getting a Switch over Christmas, and I was like, well, we always need more players for Stardew Valley. It's just like, oh, do we? I'm like, yeah, I need people to come work on my farm for me.
You're gonna have a bunch of people on there planting crops and watering them and stuff. And you're just gonna have a little lawn chair over on the side.
Just sitting in a rocking chair drinking tea.
Yelling at you because you're not farming fast enough. And when you're done, take care of the animals and do some fishing.
What was that on the Family Guy where Stewie's sitting in the chair, in a rocking chair, going, it's hot. Drinking tea.
Is it the one where they're like in the south?
Yeah,
like,
they're in
hiding
the
out?
south. I
Yeah.
don't remember what it was.
It's hot.
Yeah, I just
I think
remember
that's when
him
he starts his
sitting-
his little like band too.
Yeah, his little jug band or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be
So,
hilarious.
Over the holidays, I bought a few things on Steam sale. Only got to a couple of the ones that are shorter. I have a few others that I'll get to eventually, but
Yeah.
I got this as a package deal with one of the other games that I bought. Actually, I think it's the 2. Yeah, okay. So I got What Remains of Edith Finch, but for another extra couple bucks, I got Gorogoa with it, which is a puzzle game that is on Steam, but I think it's also been on like iOS and things as well. And it's kind of got like a 2x2 square like grid thing. It's all hand drawn art, and it's all about sliding something from one place to the other.
Oh, wow.
And you have like a little it kind of tells the story of a little guy. It's like a kid at the start of the game. It's kind of almost telling his life a little bit, but it's all these cool little mechanics that it's not really a sit and think about it kind of a puzzle game. It's more about experimenting and finding how to get stuff together, and you have to do a little bit of thinking, but it's just a really cool presentation. It does some stuff where, say you have what looks like a picture, excuse me, a picture in a frame, and if you slide the whole thing over, suddenly you have the frame is over here, and then whatever was in the picture is this other tile, and then you can move around in it, zoom in on things, find something else, and move the frame back over, and suddenly you have a different piece that will connect with something else. And so it does some things where you have your little characters trying to walk from one place to another, so you've manipulated this other tile so they can do that, and then there's other things based on different colors and all sorts of cool stuff. It maybe took me an hour and a half or so to beat it, so it's not a very long game, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video here on the Steam store, and it does look really cool. The art style
Yeah,
is
it's-
very cool.
It's very much kind of like a pencil sketch kind of art style with light coloring in there for some things. And
Yeah.
then there are some things that are a little more detailed, but it's just a kind of fun little puzzle game that doesn't take too long to get through.
Yeah, I don't
know where it came out first. I assume mobile, and then they put it on Steam, or maybe at the same time. You can hardly tell sometimes because half the stuff on Steam that looks like a mobile game, which is like, hey, we'll dump it on here too.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really cool, though. I've never even heard of it before, but the art is very, very cool. The animation is very cool.
Yeah, I'd heard of it from a couple of like end of the year best of lists that I was reading over the holidays, and so I was looking at it from the Steam sale, and then didn't realize that it's the same studio publisher or something of What Remains of Edith Finch, which was also one that I wanted to pick up. So I was just like, oh, hey, it's a bundle. I get it for cheaper, so I got both of them. So What Remains of Edith Finch is also a great game. I don't know if you guys have played it or heard of it. But
I've heard of it.
I think I've played it on
this year.
PS4 actually.
it's been on, a lot of. It's one of the kind of indie games that has shown up on a lot of best of lists so far at the end of the year for certain places. It's not showing up everywhere, but it's kind of a Gone Home style walking simulator, but with kind of this whimsical magical style. So the tone of the game is this weird mix of melancholy and sadness and stuff as far as what you're discovering in the story of these people. But the way the story is presented and the art style and all this is very whimsical and kind of like fairy tale-esque almost for some of it. Because like you're playing as Edith Finch and you're going back to this house, I guess is the best way to call it, or a mansion, even though it doesn't look like a mansion. It looks like a house with 2 or 3 other different houses stacked on top of it, all haphazardly. And you're making your way through the house and you're looking at your family tree, and because this house has been in there for generations. And so you're getting into a room with somebody, finding like a diary or an object, and you're looking through it, and then you're kind of like playing that. So you're kind of going into the memories of this person. You're playing as that person. So one, you're playing as a little girl who, seems like it was a dream, but she turns herself into a cat and some other stuff, and it's really weird and fantastical. Another one you're playing is kind of like you're playing through a comic book that's like a slasher horror movie
That's
kind of comic
interesting.
book, and the art style is different, and then there's other different ones. But the stories are always kind of depressing because it's a lot of them are how these people died or just kind of the downfall of this family over time and how they kind of fell apart. And you're learning more and more about yourself as you get there, and because you start with some of the great grandparents or something stories, and then you get closer and closer to yourself as you go through the game. It doesn't go directly that, you bounce around a little bit, but it's a very cool game. It's probably 2 or 3 hours. So it's one of those that you would call a walking simulator, but it's not the same as some of those other ones where you're literally just walking around opening drawers and things. There's still some of that, but there's a lot of just different one-off game mechanics in there. So there's one where it's a little shorter one where you're on the swing, and it's like one of these siblings of somebody that you're looking at, and you're basically swing all the way around a branch and then fly off and die. So you just have this weird one-off thing where you have to go pump back and forth to swing the thing, and there's narration going at the same time. Another cool thing the game does is there's a lot of the narration you hear is also shows up as text, like in the world. So it's kind of like shows up next to this bookshelf along the thing, and it's actually physically there, so you move around it and stuff just like any other object, and then it'll fade away. But yeah, it's just got a very cool presentation style to it. It was a very nice.
Yeah, I'd heard good things about it. It sounds like it got, people really liked it, got good reviews, and it was kind of on my radar for a little bit, so I'll have to take a dig at it.
I know it was like a PS4 console exclusive for a while. I think PC and PS4. I think it's just now coming out on PlayStation or Xbox One, like this week. Which
Could
is
be, I
kind
don't
of.
know.
I think it was like
Yeah,
a
it's
console exclusive.
It's not very long, so it's a easy one to go through quickly and just
Yeah.
play it in one sitting if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's cool.
But if you like kind of that style of game, it's definitely worth picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the only other thing, it's not something I played, but I got for Christmas, I got this book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep.
by
I got the
Jason
Kindle
Schreier.
version and audio.
I have the audio version of it. I haven't listened to it yet. But...
It's very cool. It's got a lot of different stories about just behind the scenes of some different games. So some
Yeah.
of the stories I'd already heard pieces of from other things because they've been published before. Just if you
Yeah.
listen to a lot of gaming podcasts, a lot of the stories are out there. But they have some other ones in there that aren't quite as well known, which is interesting. And it's definitely showing how off the rails and crazy game development is. It's kind of the point of the book. And the interesting one is it finishes on Star Wars 1313.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
That poor game was so doomed.
them from the
It
beginning.
reminds me a lot of the stuff that came out about the Visceral Star Wars game,
Yeah.
in that there were so many different roadblocks that showed up while they were trying to develop that game that it's a wonder they even got even as far as they did.
Yeah, I got it on. I think Kindle was doing or Audible was doing a thing where you could
Yep.
try it free, and I tried it, and I'd already done a free thing a while ago, and it was like, well, you're eligible for another free trial. So I'm like, well, let me add these 2 books, and then cancel it. So, and that was one of the books that I did, and usually I listen to it when I'm driving to like when I was working in New Jersey or something like that, because it's a good 8-hour drive one way and 8-hour drive back. So, but I was so behind on some of my podcasts that I ended up listening to that more than the audiobook, so I never got started on it. But
Yeah, I've got that, and I've got the Ready Player One for to listen to.
you know, I've tried to listen to the Ready Player One, and I just could not.
Don't do it.
I couldn't get into it. I couldn't
Should
get into it.
Should I just buy the book on Kindle?
That book is one of the most overhyped pieces of trash that I've
Okay,
ever
so
tried
don't.
to read.
Okay, so the audiobook is free. So I
Well,
guess
yeah, I didn't buy.
don't spend the money and just listen to the audiobook. Got it.
Yeah,
And
and I
if I
mean,
don't like it, 20 minutes in, I'll be like, next.
I've listened to probably 6. I think the audiobook was like 17 hours or something like that, and I think I'm about 6 into it or something.
And after 3, you fell asleep.
No, I was driving, so I didn't fall asleep.
That's good. That's good.
But it just wasn't. I was
Got a
like,
compliment.
after listening to it, I listened to it so far, and I went, "What is the big deal with this? Why is everybody just crazy about it? I get it, but
Because they're sheep, John. They're
oh
sheep.
my gosh,
Someone
it's-
said it was good and they all followed. Yeah.
and you
It's
know,
nostalgia. It's a certain nostalgia thing.
Well,
that
and it
people
should
like,
be-
But that's all that it's trying to be. It's
don't
all like,
know.
hey, have you heard of this thing? Have you heard of this thing too? Hey, what about this thing? Do you like this thing?
Well,
and that's about all it is.
and all the things
Yeah.
were from my childhood. You know, it was all like Ghostbusters and Back to the Future and and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it ought to be me, but I really don't care. It's like I never
Well,
let go of those things. You know,
all it's doing
Is it how it's
referencing
presented
those
or what?
things.
I don't know. It's really weird. It just starts out weird, and then it just I don't know. It's I don't know. It's
Just also the writing style. I forget who wrote it, but just their kind of prose is just kind of. It didn't pull me in.
yeah, it didn't pull me in either.
I only made it a few chapters in when I tried to read it, and it was just like, not enjoying it.
And now there's they're doing the movie, and I don't even care if I go see the movie or not. It's like,
Yeah, I was trying to think about like how I should.
It
maybe I
looks
should read the-
expensive.
oh yeah, I bet it was.
The only thing that semi makes me think it might turn out okay is Steven Spielberg's making it. but
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's like if I don't
I'm
care
not gonna
about the
rush out
book,
to see it.
no. And if I didn't care about the book, would I really care about watching the movie? Probably not.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I may try to watch it sometime, but I was not
I'll
impressed.
probably
by
end
the
up
book.
seeing it.
I'll probably see it at some point, whether it's on video or in the theater. To probably depend on if it has raving reviews. Then maybe I'll see it.
I
Otherwise, I'll
won't,
just wait.
I won't go see it in the theater.
It doesn't look to me like it's going to review very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't go see it in the theater, but I may watch it on Netflix or rent it on Blu-ray or something. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It just wasn't. It just didn't impress me at all. I mean, I don't know. I got halfway through it. Well, quarter of the way through it, went, no thanks. I got other better ways to spend
Dang it!
17
Yeah.
Maybe I
hours.
should use my free audiobook for something else.
Well, but you might like it. Don't go off of my
I know, but you
Nathaniel's
guys,
opinion. But
we
you
we
might-
all tend to like around the same stuff when it comes to gaming culture. And
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I don't, the thing to me that I didn't like so much is it was remind me of anytime something's trying too hard,
yeah.
and it just rubbed me the wrong way, and I just didn't
Oh.
enjoy it.
how was like the person reading it? Did they have like an interesting voice and it sounded like they were trying? Or
Well,
they just, like,
it was Will Wheaton.
Oh,
so-
it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Will Wheaton read it, so I mean,
Well, Wheaton would be a good choice for
That
that.
wasn't-
I just had the book. I didn't have audio.
it wasn't him that I had a problem with. I mean, and he would try to do little voices and with different characters and stuff, and that's
Speak-
fine. But
Yeah.
I just didn't care for the story. The story, I mean, literally, I got to the first part of where he found the first thing, and everybody was like, "How in the world is this kid finding this thing?" And I went, "I really don't care." It was like,
It's not a good sign.
yeah, it was
Because
like,
the plot said so.
yeah, it's like once I got to that point in it, and I was just like, you lost me. Sorry, I'm out.
Speaking of Will Wheaton, I mentioned this before on Twitter, but I highly recommend his book, Just a Geek. It's really good. And you guys like Star Trek,
Oh,
so
we
We,
lost,
hear
we
a little
lost
bit about
Nathaniel.
that.
lost Nathaniel.
some of his other convention stuff, what it's
Yeah.
like to be an actor.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, I'll
And,
have,
you know, you,
I'll have to check it
Hey.
out. Hey, there he is. He's back.
That was really weird. It just nothing at all. Just Discord just went bloop.
Well, sometimes computer things just go bloop, blop, bleep, blop.
Yeah, they do.
That's all right. I'll still take Discord over
Skype.
Skype. Any
that other
day.
program we
Yeah,
used.
that other program that I've so far put it out of my mind that I don't even remember the name of it anymore. So
Wasn't that long ago.
it seems like it was forever ago.
Eons ago.
But
It was like at least weeks and
Yeah.
months.
months and some days. So
Yeah, so I'll
Robert.
definitely.
Well, go ahead, man. What was that? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I got Blood and Sweat and Pixels, and I'll definitely have to.
Yeah,
And
I'll have
listen
to.
to it.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to it. I don't have time to sit down and read a book, but I definitely have plenty of time to listen to it. When I'm driving in a car, I have plenty of
It's an
time.
interesting
Yep.
book, and it's just written well. It's engaging.
Yeah,
Each chapter is a different game.
yeah,
So, and it's kind of fun, some of the parallels that he ties between some of them, because there's like a developer from one thing was on this one chapter working on this game, but then he also helped out on this other thing. So kind of like the ties between, say, Diablo 3 and Destiny that you might not have realized were there,
yeah.
but because Activision ties those two together.
See,
Some people kind of helped out, like they had their whole run with Diablo 3 where it came out and people were disappointed with certain things, and then they kind of went through and fixed it, and then all of a sudden Destiny's having similar issues, so let's try and go help them work that out because we have experience with it. They literally had a meeting that they presented to all the some of the Destiny people about it, saying, hey, this is what we did with Diablo 3, maybe it'll help you.
yeah. I should have listened to it first. I started Service Games, The Rise and Fall of Sega audiobook, and that thing's like 16 hours and 20 minutes, where the Blood, Sweat, and Pixels is only like 8 hours. I really should have done that one first. But I always start the long ones first for some reason. But,
You'll get to it.
yeah, like the Ready Player One. Oh, I don't want to download it again. I was trying to see.
No, don't do it.
Cancel,
Stop.
cancel. I just wanted to see how far I was into it, and it just automatically downloads. But it's like a 16-hour book read, too, and I think I was about 7 hours into it, so 6 or 7 maybe. But anyway.
Far enough to know whether or not you'd like it.
Yeah, I mean, I got deep enough in it in a trip to Pennsylvania that I went, meh, I'm not going to listen to it on the trip back.
Something new.
But anyway, Robert, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so holiday time is family time, so I didn't get a whole lot of personal gaming time.
Yeah.
So what I did play was a bunch of multiplayer games that I could play with everybody. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe found its way back out, and that was a big hit. After the parents went to bed, since they don't know how to use controllers. Mario Kart 8 just keeps coming back for me. It's especially being on the Switch. It's just awesome to be able to pick up and go, and then hook it up to someone's TV, and then here's the Joy-Con, everyone let's have at it until you hate each other. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I planned on doing that. I brought it to my brother's house. I figured we'd do that, but they're more board game people. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I
ended
put
up
some board games
we ended up playing this one game called Slap It or Stack It, or I can't remember the name of it. Nicky will remind me what it is, but you have a card. It's a round card, and you lay it down, and it has all these different things on it. And if you have that thing, you lay it down. You don't want to play that while you're drunk. Well, actually, you do. Everybody else was drunk, and I wasn't, so it was kind of humorous to watch everybody drink.
Watch
and
how
play.
everybody else fumble along.
I would have preferred Mario Kart, but that's okay. I mean,
Definitely.
it's all right.
Well,
Anyway,
Mario
go
Kart is what we played when, like I said, when the parents went to bed, when everyone was there for everything. we were playing Jackbox Party
Yeah.
Pack
Nice.
3, which is always great. And you know, I didn't even realize it at the time when I first played it, but it has like a family friendly mode that you can turn on and off,
Oh.
so that if you've got people who are more sensitive or
What's
shouldn't
the
be-
age on that? Could someone as young as like 6 or 7 play? Unless it's family friendly.
Some of them, the ones that are in Party Pack 3, there's a lot of like trivia and just
Oh,
like
okay.
general world knowledge that might be a little difficult for someone of that age. But there are other ones. I think in Party Pack 2 or 4, there's like drawing games and things like that they could participate in.
I like
yeah,
the first
it's-
game. I like the first Party Pack. I never played the other two, but something to
I
think
would
about.
definitely look at getting some more of them once I see them on sale. It's not something I play often, but
Yeah,
when everyone's together, it's always a good one to pull out, especially since you can just use your phone and everyone's comfortable with their
everybody
own
can join
phone.
in. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Spot It. That's what it was called. Spot It. Sorry.
Spot it. Gotcha.
Haven't played
I
that.
popped in Overcooked some more. I had a buddy come over a little bit after Christmas, and for some reason, that game is always a game that we play when we start drinking. And it's not the best game to play when you're drinking. It is hard enough sober,
Yeah.
but you,
Yeah,
you
like
throw
it's
alcohol
already
in the mix.
mayhem. You don't need more mayhem on top.
Yeah. You get really good though if you can do it drunk. You know?
Yeah, I'd say.
I don't know if you guys have played Overcooked, but it's a whole lot of fun. It's awesome.
I've
You hate
s-
each other, but
I've
it's
seen
awesome.
videos of it. I've never played it. But I've seen
I hear you can get yelled at if you do it in some circles if you don't do it well. You know.
Yeah.
Don't do what
I
you're
mean, the
supposed
more
to do.
people you have, the better it is. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's always cool when you're together, a bunch of people, and play games like that. That's always fun. We did that with Mario Kart when we went and visited a friend in South Carolina and played with his 9-year-old boy, and it was fun to play with him because he's old enough to play it, but he's still a little young to trash talk, but doesn't realize he's trash talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was,
Did you guys put on like the bumpers for him so he wouldn't fall off the map?
No. I left it plain. I just was like, you know what? He'd get really mad, and then he'd start trash talking. It was hilarious. And it's like, man, this kid's 9 years old, and he's trash talking me up one side, down the other. It's
Your mom likes a banana peel.
but yeah, it's great. But yeah, that's cool. It's cool to play multiplayer games like that. Like I say, I've never played Overcooked, but I've seen and heard a lot about it. Looks like it'd be fun in a group for sure. So, Eric, you're left. What do you got?
Yeah, look at me. Got a lot of stuff been
He's
playing.
got like a paragraph of games here.
Well, that's why I saved
Yeah.
you for last. I figured.
So I did. When we went away for Christmas, I took the Switch with me, and my wife's cousin has one, and we were gonna like play Mario Kart and stuff. And he had a couple other games, but we never fired up his, and I just ended up playing, some more Mario Odyssey and some Mario plus Rabbids. And, popped out the Joy Cons for the first time, tried it with that. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool that you can do all these extra moves. And dang it, I wish I could do some of that stuff when the Joy Cons were attached to the tablet. But
Yeah. You can do them with
Still
the Pro Controller. If you get one of those, you can actually do them with the Pro Controller.
I did. I tinkered. I played with the Pro Controller Mario plus Rabbids, but I got lazy and I put it aside.
Yeah.
Just grabbed it to play. Didn't grab it to play Mario Odyssey, but I'll keep that in mind. Let's see what else I went up to. Over Black Friday, I had picked up South Park. I finished it about a week ago.
Good as
If
the
you like
first
South
one?
Park, like I said, yeah. No, this is the Fractured Butthole.
No.
So-
I said, is it better than the first one?
No, it's about the same. The thing is, though, the first one you play through the town.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh
go
no. Well,
Well, I mean, the first one, if you haven't played it, you get to play all through South Park, and you get to go to Canada. And this one, you don't get to go to Canada, and you just play through the town. So, I mean, it's fine, I guess, but it's not worth playing through a second time.
I'm not a big South Park fan, so
Even if you're trying to platinum, yeah, just doesn't have the sticking ability for the second time.
if it had been 10 years ago, I probably would have.
I mean, I would say if it's $20, okay, and you're interested, or you got a Redbox rental for 5 days or so, okay, it's not that long.
Yeah.
I beat it in 18 hours.
Well, that's not bad.
I'm almost done with Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. Once again, that series of games makes me incredibly nauseous when I play on PS4. And first-person games do not bother me.
Yeah.
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, no problem. Bioshock, no problem. Deus Ex, no problem. I think it's due to the head bob for some reason. It really
I
bothers
mean,
me.
it could just be an engine thing rather than a feature like that, because I know someone who can't play Source games, and I know someone else who can't play something in this engine.
I can't
It could
play
just be
Half-Life.
theirs.
I have to play like in like an hour burst. I'm like, I'm
'Cause
done.
this one is
I'll
the
play
same
something
engine
else.
as Doom was.
Yeah.
But Doom did. Actually, Doom did bother me a little bit at some points.
Well,
So who
see,
knows?
there you go.
I still recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Who doesn't like punching Nazis?
Dude, that game has so many moments of just crazy over the top. Why
Yeah,
in
it
the
is
world?
so-
How did they do that? That it has its own list that you could make of top Wolfenstein moments of the year, which Jan Baum did.
Yeah, and
It's fun.
I really should have bought it when it was on sale. I chose
It'll
Assassin's
be cheap soon
Creed,
enough.
but it'll be cheap soon enough, so I'll play it at some point.
I think
It
I've
is
seen it
worth
down to
playing.
like 35, but
Yeah.
Well, they had it on sale. Just Bethesda put a lot of their single player stuff on sale for
Yeah.
a while,
Yeah, it was
just
like
outside of
$25
storefront.
or something like that.
So
yeah, it was.
I think it was like half 30 or something. So
Well, played some more GTA 5. You guys don't need to hear about that. I fired up some more Dark Mirror. I played a little bit of that over break. Still working on my review for that. It's a third-person like adventure horror game. Plays a lot with your mind. So,
Yeah, it looked kind of
that's a-
cool.
interesting architecture, interesting art style. Think like 1800s, like Scotland. So it's kind of cool. The controls are a little bit clunky, but that's what to be expected.
Yeah.
I'd heard really good things about Adventure Time. Hey, Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? Most games like this aren't very good, because it's based on a cartoon, Adventure Time, which I'm sure most of us have seen.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty much a Zelda 2 clone.
Huh.
I've heard about this one.
It's like $9 at GameStop. It's super cheap.
Wow.
I'll play
That
this.
is
And it's
cheap.
actually put about 4 or 5 hours into it. It's fun. It's great for short little bursts. So keep that in mind if you're looking for
Which Zelda?
Zelda 2 on Super Nintendo or on Nintendo.
Gotcha.
If you like that style of game,
that
but it
reminds me-
is fun. It's interesting. Has all the show's humor. I also picked up Castlevania: Dawn of Sorrow. I've never played any of the Castlevania games on DS, so I thought I'd give this one a try. Out of like game recommended,
Yeah.
it is hard,
Yeah, it is very
It is.
hard.
difficult, and I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be interesting. So,
And if you ever get tired of it, I will buy it off of you.
do you own any of the others?
Nope.
No.
I own very, very
I thought I'd-
few DS games.
I thought I'd played one of the other ones for DS because I was like, dang, this is just as hard.
When,
But
when
I'll
I
keep-
had, at the height of the DS, I was working at GameStop, so I never actually bought any DS games. Always just checked them out and played them. So I only own maybe 2 or 3 at the most DS games. I think Nikki owns more DS games than I do. 3DS games, I've got a ton, but DS,
I was
don't
gonna
have a lot.
I was gonna get this or the Dragon Quest Rocket Slime game, which people also recommended, but they said there's a lot of grinding in it, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's your typical Dragon Quest
Got a couple
grindy
other-
games. So.
RPG games, so I'm like, well, I'll stick with those, and I'll put that on my list. And then the only other thing I did was I modded my Wii with a busted disk drive over New Year's Eve. It was about the only thing I could do, so that's pretty sick. And
Yeah.
fired up some emulators on it and stuff, some homebrew. It works like it's supposed to,
Yeah.
like 20 minutes or less. It's really easy.
Yeah, I still have my Wii modded. It's been in the box for like 4
Like I
years,
said,
but-
after this is done, I'm like, well, I guess I'll maybe use this, or maybe I'll give it to like my nephews and nieces who could
Yeah.
really make good use of it. So
I have a 250 gig hard drive attached to it
There you
with a bunch
go.
of games on it, but I
All the
never
games
use
you
it.
want.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never use
way
it.
more memory than it came with originally.
Oh yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, I think it's only got maybe 500 megabytes internal.
Yeah,
maybe
Yeah,
it's
doesn't
less.
have very much. Yeah,
It's pretty
doesn't have very much
small.
at all. But
But it's really simple. You can, yeah, it's easy as setting up a pie. It's
yeah, and the
Oh,
trouble
easier.
is a lot of the games I want to play, you still have to use the stupid motion controls. So then I just go, I don't want to play them. So
That reminds me, I picked up one of the Godzilla games for Wii. I forget which one, and it has motion controls. And after 5 minutes, I was like, I'm done.
yeah, and the Godzilla game, one of those, if it's just Godzilla. See, there was King of Monsters, Godzilla King of Monsters, and then there was just Godzilla. Red and
Oh,
black
it is.
with Godzilla on the front of it.
Yes, it's that one.
I think that's just Godzilla, I think.
Oh,
Maybe.
Godzilla Unleashed.
Unleashed, that's it. Yeah, I was going to say, I get them get them confused because they name
It got
them
like
stupid
it got
thing.
really good reviews on the PS2
Yeah.
because it didn't have motion controls.
How about that?
And I was like, after 5 minutes, I was like, all right, I'm Godzilla and I get to smash things. This is really cool. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I can't.
No
stand
offense,
here
Wii.
and do
I'm
this.
like, yeah. It's like, do this with the nunchuck. And I'm like, get it. Like, please, just give me the classic controller. Let me have that option at least.
Yeah.
I'd feel better if you're a T-Rex and you're like, "Ee,
Yeah, really.
Little
arms.
little hands."
Yeah, that's what I like about some of the Wii games on the Wii U.
Oh yeah.
Every once in a while, there's a couple of them that'll like, okay, you can use the motion controls, but you can also use the classic Pro controller, and you don't have to use the motion controls. That would actually make me buy some of those games digitally,
Yeah.
just so I wouldn't.
'Cause
If
you're
they would
like,
do
oh,
Skyward
right,
Sword
yeah.
like that, oh
Give me
my
that
gosh, I would buy
gamepad.
that again and play it. That's the only reason why I won't play Skyward Sword. I have it, but I won't finish it because I'm too busy over here going. Whipping it around, it's like no,
That's like-
I'm not doing
And that's
that.
like, GoldenEye on the Wii. I'm so glad you can use the classic controller. Works like a dream.
Yeah.
Try using the Wiimote and the nunchuck, and I'm just like, nope.
That
I'm
said,
done.
some games you have to play with motion controls.
Yeah.
And they're still
Yeah.
fun. Like Boom Blocks was a great game.
Yeah, it was, but anymore it's just
But
like
that's it. That's what I've been playing.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff, and hopefully the next month or so I'll have more time to play more things.
I'm hoping so. It didn't even strike me, but I was so busy with work that we worked 12 days straight, and I didn't feel like playing in the evenings, and then when we were at my brother's house, I didn't feel like playing, and it was just I was playing with the nephew and the niece, and it's like I was too busy playing Legos than to worry
I mean,
about
I only
playing
got
video
Christmas
games.
Day off, so it wasn't like
Uh,
I had any time off.
Well, I've had plenty of time off, but then, here it's been so
Yeah.
cold, I haven't done anything.
I had time off, but was traveling and doing stuff with family and things,
Yeah.
so I just didn't have as much gaming time. And then I get home and I was sick.
Of course. Yeah.
It's like,
How it works.
Well, I only put in just a couple of news stories, just some things that I thought were kind of interesting that we could kick around for a second before we get on to what we played in 2017 that we really liked. Nintendo Switch is now the fastest selling home console in U.S. history. It's also in
For what, a 10-month period or
yeah,
something?
well, it's sold 4.8 million units.
Beat the Wii.
It beat the Wii, which sold 4 million in the exact same period of time. So
And before that was the PS2 that had the title, right?
yeah, PS2.
I thought
was
the PS2 still had the title of the best-selling console of all time.
I think it is all time,
Well, yeah,
But-
there's so many stats that you can
Yeah, it's
throw out
crazy.
stuff.
but
This one, though, I don't know. The Switch is going to have to do a lot to keep holding on as long as the Wii did for just selling off of shelves.
They got to have a
So
big
far, it's doing-
Nintendo
But that's good
Direct.
though. I was thinking about when I saw the stat is that means like when people were buying the Switch, tons of gamers are buying the Switch because the Wii's appeal was hey mom and dad
Yeah.
buy the Wii
Yeah.
exercise.
non-gamers were buying.
The
There we
Switch
go.
is going to do very, very well. I don't think it's going to sell as many as the Wii did, just because it doesn't
Highly
have
possible.
that broad
Right.
appeal.
Yeah, it doesn't have that broad appeal. There is a 2-hour Nintendo Direct, the 11th.
They finally actually confirmed it.
Yeah, they
Yay.
confirmed it today. So 2
It was
hours is
rumored
a
for a long
long
time.
time. Yeah, it's a
Maybe
long
maybe we'll
direct,
get to hear
so.
about like
Directs are usually only like what 15, 20
online
minutes.
play,
A half hour
maybe
at the
virtual console.
most.
Yeah.
So for 2 hours, they've got a
Wow.
lot of stuff.
They might
But
have a few extended looks at things.
They
but-
could. Well,
but still.
the thing that Switch did really good this year was every month there was a big game. One big game. We had
Yeah,
Zelda,
really
we had
great
Mario.
first
So, and for them to continue that, I don't know how they're going to be able to do it. But I mean, they can. They
Well,
have
we'll
plenty of
find out.
franchises to do it with. Bayonetta's next month. Lost Sphere is this month. I don't think it's going to be a huge system seller, but that's the
Well,
Switch
not
game
every
that I'm
month in
looking
this-
forward to.
Yeah, the first year, not every month has been a huge system seller, but it's been, our game.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting too
Well-
once Bayonetta comes out. I guarantee the secondary market for Bayonetta 1 and 2 for Wii U.
Oh,
Slides down
it's
a bunch.
kind of already dropped anyway, just because of
I think
interest. I think. I don't
I think like
the bundles.
6 months ago I checked and it was like selling for $50. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, at one point it was in the $70 or $80 range. But I've got what's going to be cool in the secondary market with Bayonetta is going to be the Ultimate Climax Edition or whatever they call it in Japan. That is the only way to get Bayonetta 1 on a cartridge for the Switch.
Because the one that comes to America,
Well, the one that comes
downloadable,
everywhere is download,
everywhere.
except for that one even the collector's edition that's coming out in Europe. It's the same collector's edition. It's a download code. It's not a cartridge. Only in Japan. I got one pre-ordered on Amazon of Japan. So I'm super excited about that because anything I can do to save download space is a good thing to me.
pretty cool that it
But-
supports English too. So that'll be
Yeah,
nice to
and
make
they
it easy to
just
play.
finally announced that it supported English. So,
I wonder why.
I probably
Why
won't
is-
play 1 on my Switch though,
yeah,
just because I played it already and I have it on PC and it runs so well there. So if I have the itch to play it, I can play it there.
yeah,
Unless for some reason I just wanted to play the first game on the go somewhere.
yeah.
But I definitely want to play 2 because I never got a chance to play that.
Yeah, it's two's awesome. But what were you going to say, Eric?
I'm just curious why in Japan is it coming? You get both in cartridge and nowhere else. mean,
I don't know.
it's just
It's probably
cost?
it's probably just a Japanese exclusive thing. I don't know. It seems strange though that the exact
Does it
same.
sell better over there?
It could have. I really don't know. The thing is
I
that
was under the impression you didn't sell that well, regardless.
that exact same collector's edition is coming out in Europe with a download code, and it's not coming out in America. So,
I'm betting it's a thing where in most markets you could say, hey, Bayonetta 2 is a new game that you have probably not played because you didn't have a Wii U.
yeah,
But Bayonetta 1 is like, oh, that's older and you've played it already, so maybe they're just thinking, rightly or wrongly, that it wouldn't be as much of a selling point. Who
yeah,
knows?
weird. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But
It's I just looked on eBay. I was just curious. It's over $200.
what's that? The
Climax edition.
oh my gosh, that's double what it costs. It costs me $100 is how much it's going to cost.
Amazon.
Would you do the yen to dollar transfer?
No, I just found somebody selling it.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying that
Oh,
if
the
you
end
bought
of the
it,
dollar.
yeah, if you
It's
bought
not
it
even
on
out yet. How are you
it's
selling it?
they're selling pre-orders because that's what they do on Amazon now. They sell pre-orders. It's ridiculous. Oh, well, what are you gonna do? Oh no, Discord is frozen. I don't know why it froze.
It's not
Well,
on
still,
mine.
it's
Fine
cool.
on
So,
our
like,
end.
so if you're interested in Bayonetta 1 and 2, there you go. It's a great
Yeah.
way to play it.
Yeah. Well, maybe Discord will unfreeze here on my end. It is totally frozen here. In every way, shape, and form
It's-
frozen.
It's still broadcasting your video and stuff to us, though, so.
Yeah, weird. Okay, that's frozen
That's
on
weird.
our end. But anybody watching the live stream, we're all okay here. We're all not drunk.
We're all
so.
here.
But anyway, so Microsoft discontinues the Kinect adapter for the Xbox One S and X. So I
Nobody
guess you
shed a
could,
tear.
yeah, no, I guess you could finally just, they announced back in October that they were ending production of the Kinect anyway. So, of course, the adapter is going to be discontinued as well. But what's funny about that is the adapter prices have shot up like crazy on eBay. It's like $200. It's insane. But I mean, who would want it? I don't know.